Just okay. Waiting for stuff to process.
Let's go, let's go, let's
Hello, everyone.
go.
Welcome to another episode of For the Fans podcast. We are here for the new season, and we have a couple of guests with us. If you've been paying close attention to our Facebooks, if you're our family or friends.
Guests, as in they're not just guests, they are now permanent additions to our new uh, weekly run-throughs of this whole thing. And it's going to be pretty fun here. We're looking forward to it a lot.
Correct,
Um,
Mundo. I am still editing some stuff, so I may be a minute.
okay, sounds good. If that's the case, Shane, I will just take over here for a second and just kind of get us underway with introductions before we really jump into the nitty-gritty of this upcoming NFL season. For everyone who is listening here tonight, or those of you who check out our YouTube videos that are published after we go live, we will be doing our introductions here to introduce you to our two new administrators for our For the Fans podcast. And Shane, it's probably a good idea, at least for those who are listening new, because I know there are a few that at least need to know who we are. So, gentlemen, we'll basically just go around the table here. We'll give our name, just kind of where we reside right now, a little
I gotta say,
background, if you
what
will.
table are you sitting at? Cause I'm here by myself.
Oh, you know what I mean. I don't need the sarcasm.
Oh, come on. What kind of podcast would this be without sarcasm?
Right,
Also,
you're right, you're
everything
right.
looks live and we should be good, so anyone can tune in now for anyone who wants to sneak in and get in right as the stuff gets cooking.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like I said, we'll go around, name, residence, little background, if you will, and talk about your favorite sports team a little bit. At least with some of us here, we come and celebrate rather cursed franchises. I think Matt's the only one here who's his franchise has been blessed. But we'll get into that here in a second. So, Shane, why don't you kick us off here if you can?
Oh boy, the guy running everything gets to kick everything off. I love it. Thank you, McKay.
Welcome.
So, as anyone that's tuning in knows, I am Shane. Me and McKay were the original co-hosts that started this whole thing together. We talked about it a lot when we met a long time ago on a mission for our church. We both love football. We bonded over that, and we talked about one day, hey, let's start a podcast. And then one day when we met up again, I'm like, you know what? Let's get this thing kicked off the ground and running. It's like, done. So we've been doing this for 5 years. This is our sixth season. I'm currently living in Utah, which is very nice. I just had a baby girl in the past 2 months. I'm very happy with her. Love her to death. She is everything right now. I work in IT, work in tech. I got family in North Carolina. I got some family in here in Utah. I'm in IT, which means I'm running all the tech stuff. I'm doing all the behind the scenes stuff. So I'm the one usually making the original social media posts, making sure our audio is okay, making sure that everything's kind of working from a technology standpoint for everybody. Yada yada yada. Kind of boring. Don't want to talk about it a whole ton. But I do want to talk about football. And I'll speed this up because anyone that's seen us before, anyone that knows me, knows that I am a die-hard Jaguar fan. A lot of people always ask me why. The reason why is because they're the first team I ever saw play. Absolutely love them, and I will die on that hill, and I will always be a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. Love some of the players. There are other teams I like. McKay has a team that I like that I'll let him introduce. My parents are Chargers fans, so I also like the Chargers a little bit. I also like the Saints back when they had Drew Brees. A few other teams. But yeah, that's me.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, Shane.
Yep.
I'll go real quick here, just as one of the others from the old guard here before we get into our new additions here. So yeah, for those who are just tuning in, haven't listened to us before, my name's McKay. I also reside in Utah in a little small farming town in the south central area. Background for me, yeah, I got myself, my wife, and I have two kids, a boy and a girl, which they're my favorite people on the whole planet, and nothing will ever change that. It doesn't matter if my team ends up winning the Super Bowl and I have to sacrifice that side of things. Nope, won't ever happen. But occupation side of things for me, I run my own business from home. I develop online training and other associated content for various companies that come around, basically just to help them make them, their company, and their employees better. And I do some other stuff on the side, but that's kind of the big one. For me, favorite sports team, I am a Chicago Bears fan, and the reason being is because I like to be constantly in pain and suffering. Um, but no, the truth of the matter is, I still die hard, still appreciate it, even since the young age of 7, when uh, just when I first started watching them as a team. They eventually got to the Super Bowl not long after that, and fumbled 3 times in the Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning got his first ring. But anyway, that's me. I'm also a big college fan. I follow a lot of other sports too, so you'll hear me chime in on that here and there, where I touch on some other sports, including college football. I'm a big Arizona State fan, having grown up there at one point, and yeah, that's me. Gentlemen, would you care to kick it off? Introduce yourself.
Sure. I couldn't hear if you said a name there, but I can start.
Go for it.
Happy to be on the podcast. My name's Tyler. I do, if we all dwell here in Utah, I don't know that we need to start by saying that we all dwell in Utah, but I dwell in central Utah, just outside of Richfield, and I do a couple of things. Primarily, right now, I've been working for Redmond Minerals. They do your Redmond table salt, if you recognize that name. It's usually found in most Whole Foods or health food stores. Pretty awesome. Very wonderful salt. And the type of salt you choose does make a difference, I'll tell you that. But I also do real estate. What was that?
I said we need a sponsor. Sorry to interrupt, but we could use a sponsor for that right now. That sounded great.
See, there we go. I can't
love
say
salt.
that officially yet.
I put salt on everything, including my watermelon.
Oh. Well, that's actually one I haven't tried yet, but I've heard good
things. Delicious. I recommend it.
Sorry to interrupt, Tyler.
Oh, you're just fine. I'm a real estate agent. I do a lot of that too, which keeps me plenty busy between the two of them. I grew up in Utah County and now live in Sevier County, as I mentioned. Let's see. I've got a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful girls and a little boy. I've got 3 kids, and we're those crazy people who did the 3 under 3 thing right now. So, no guarantees that that'll continue, but we love each of them. Don't know that we'll be able to go for 4 for 4, but favorite sports team, definitely the Atlanta Falcons. And much like I'm sure the rest of you, I get questioned as to why. I feel like we live mostly in a community of Broncos fans or maybe Cardinals, depending on which location you try to go closest to. But I had a buddy talk me into fantasy football one year, and he said, "Doesn't really matter who you pick, just pick random people." Always loved the color red, and I always had Falcons players come up for me. So my first year drafting, I pretty much had the entire Falcons roster on my team, and ended up not working out too well for me. But ever since then, I've stuck with them through the highs and the lows, through some of the fun with
8 to 3.
Yep, even through that.
that is a running joke on this podcast between me and McKay is 28 to 3.
Oh, trust me, as a long-time listener, I've smiled, cried.
It's gonna get even more interesting here when we go to Matt here, and you all will see why. It'll be good.
Oh, absolutely. Look forward to those conversations, Matt. But anyway, that's me. So I mean, I share with McKay, and that I do love some college football. I follow, I guess you could say, my local team, the BYU Cougars, but otherwise, NFL is more my bread and jam. So.
Nice.
Anyway, that's me.
Very cool. Thanks, Tyler. All right, Matt, finish us off here.
So, Matt, I reside in Utah as well, so you guys see the theme here. But I'm in the south side of Utah, so where it's nice and sunny year-round, and love it. Occupation, I work in the banking, finance sector. So, work for Zions Bank, and yeah, I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And then, me and my wife just had a baby, and she's about to hit a year old here soon. So, just got the one little girl, and yeah, family. It's always a focus for me, but I do enjoy some football. So glad to be here. Tyler's gonna be my worst enemy, it looks like, on this podcast. So favorite football team, drum roll, it's one that everyone hates, is the New England Patriots. And before anyone asks, how did I become a New England Patriots fan? Well,
Yes,
that's a simple answer. In middle school, I had to pick a team. Everyone loves football. That's everyone's jam. I remember I had the NFL game, Madden 2003 or 2, I can't remember which one it was. And I picked the Patriots because I thought their logo, a Pat Patriot in the 3-point stance, was the coolest thing ever. I got made fun of because, granted, Tom Brady was still, he's a rookie and all that, and got Bledsoe, and they're like, oh, they suck. And then it slowly transitioned throughout high school that, oh, you're a bandwagon. I'm like, you guys literally made fun of me in middle school because I was a Patriots fan. So, I've been through all the roller coasters of being, targeted, but still a Patriots fan, even though, we'll see how this season ends up. But yeah, and then I also watched college as well. And another point of Tyler is working with me, and he's also a poser because I am a Utah fan and I bleed red. Just like everyone else.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
So it'll get exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So
Well, it's not the same because obviously it's not the true rivalry that at BYU and Utah have always had. But if you throw me in there as well, Arizona State, all 3 of our teams play in the Big 12 now. So this will be an
it'll be a
entertaining
very
season.
interesting.
I don't have a college team.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to get you to that point. Freaking weirdo.
Hey, I have a basketball college team, and I may possibly have a football college team.
Good. I'm so proud of you.
Evolving. I
Hey,
like it.
with basketball, I
Yeah.
always root for Gonzaga.
Wrong.
Nah,
Yeah.
love them. I only love them because of their name.
Yeah,
Good job, Tyler. Wait, that was perfect response.
I can get behind the Gonzaga because that's where the best point guard ever to play the game came from.
Ooh, a John Stockton shout out. I like it.
Heck yeah.
Getting that out here even before we jump into the NFL. That's awesome.
I will argue that day. I'll argue that all day if we get on the basketball subject. But
Yeah, thanks, Shane. Great.
there
We
we
got
go.
running great. All right. Well, let's go ahead here. It's kind of just the way to just finish this off here before we really jump into our matchups here, the main meat of our thing. But we just from sharing from all of us here, what are we really looking forward to most here as we dive into the season? We've got 2 more nights, tonight technically and tomorrow night, and then NFL football regular season is back in full swing, and I cannot wait.
Oh boy,
Oh,
am I
yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm
I-
What are we
all
looking
over the
for? What do we
place.
want to see? What do we want to see this year, guys?
The Jaguars win
What are
a
we
Super
hoping?
Bowl.
Yeah, besides that.
I want to at least see them get to a Super Bowl. Give me a break. Everyone else here, their team's been to the Super Bowl. They've been able to celebrate that. I have never been. I want to go to a Super Bowl. That's all I want.
I guess I could support that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm like,
Yeah.
2 of you guys even have wins in the Super Bowl.
I wonder what
True.
that's like.
Right.
Multiple
It's
wins
pretty
even.
amazing. It's pretty amazing, especially when you have like a huge comeback in late in the third quarter.
Oh,
Fantastic.
here we go.
I was gonna. Whoa, Tyler! Don't throw me into that there too much, because keep in mind the Bears won their only Super Bowl in '86. I was not alive when that happened, so I'm actually more in your boat than I am in Matt's, unfortunately.
I do know what the
okay.
hopeless feeling feels like, but then I also know what pure joy feels like after.
Yeah.
Oh, I experienced both of those as well, just probably in the opposite order that you
Reverse.
did. So
Hopeless feeling, Matt. Is that called the Mac Jones era?
Oh, it's still going on.
Ah,
It's still going on.
like, no offense, but the Patriots fans can deserve to suffer for a bit.
And I'm okay with it because I still have those good memories, you know.
It's
And
true.
who
It's
knows? When
true.
Drake May takes over like week 6 or 7, you guys might actually have something.
Let's try week 3.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
see.
With that, let's go ahead and jump into here, guys. So we've got 16 games coming up, and basically how we're gonna make this work is each of us is gonna take about 4 games where we kind of just give the overall explanation, what's coming up, maybe what some exciting things are to look forward to, and then, as usual, for those who have listened before and those who are just listening in, how this is gonna work is we'll basically be giving our picks, sharing it around just like most other podcasters or those guys in the big leagues, the Pat McAfee types, share their picks. And then we always talk about the matchup monster, which is the X factor. Who's going to be that player who's really going to shine in this game? How's that going to play out? And that's helpful too. I know some people, when they listen to our podcast, they listen to the matchup monster pick because they keep that in mind if they have that individual on their fantasy football team. So that's how this is going to go here, going into our week 1 matchups. And Shane, I know I already picked on you, having you lead off as the tech guy, but you are up with the first 4
Heck yeah.
games here on our
I
slate.
mean, I got everything situated. We should all be good and smooth sailing from here on out. So let's kick it off. So we got Thursday night football. Finally, the start of the NFL season, and I feel like it's a good matchup. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens, 2 very strong teams in the AFC, and I honestly am very happy and excited for this game because I feel like the last few games that we were kicking off, I was like excited for, but then it kind of fell out. Except for last year, I loved last year watching the Lions beat the crap out of the Chiefs. That was fun to watch. And this time, I got the Ravens winning this Thursday night matchup. The Chiefs I think, are going to have a little bit of a slow start, and the Ravens, their offense looks pretty solid. So I got my money on the Ravens.
Very good. Very cool. Yeah, just to chime in, just going down the line here. I've also picked the Ravens for this matchup, and biggest reason that I have chosen the Ravens for this is similar to Shane what you were saying, just as far as how I think the Ravens are with their new offense, having Derrick Henry added. Kind of hoping to see that really run-heavy attack that they could potentially do against the Chiefs. The way I look at it too, I see this as a really good opportunity that the Ravens are itching for to avenge their AFC Championship game loss. And so with that, I feel like they might come in with a little more fire than the Chiefs, who are just here to, get their ring ceremony. Yeah, I know it's the start of the three-peat. I know it's the start of the beginning of the three-peat, but I just feel like the Ravens might come in with a little more fire for this kickoff. So I got them.
Yeah. So I'm on the same board. I'm on the bandwagon for the Ravens. I really think, like you're saying, McKay, they have a ton to prove, and I think they're going to come out swinging. Honestly, I feel like the option attack will be just give the Chiefs nightmares. To be honest,
Hopefully,
like who's going to be running it, and then he could roll out, he could make a throw a pass, tons of different options for him. But I think the biggest key factor I think in this game is going to come down to the defense.
yes.
Like, that's kind of like where I'm like, hey, it's whoever's defense steps up, that's where it's going to be for me for this matchup. But I think the Ravens, I think they're going to pull it out. They'll wear them down with the run game. So
that's great.
I think, sadly, we're not going to have a whole lot of controversy on this one. Yes, I'm also there for the Ravens, unfortunately. And when I first put in this pick, I was like, I'm going to be different. And here I am, just fitting the mold. But honestly, I think everyone's made great points. I think, though, the only place I would differ is I think that this is going to come down to what feels like a lot more new weapons, at least in the throwing game, for I think the Chiefs. And I think that's going to be one of the things that really holds them up. And I think you can practice, you can have preseason, but it's just different when you actually hit regular season, when you're actually playing the game. And I think obviously the run game is going to be newer for the Ravens, but I think it's going to be different. I think the Ravens are going to come into this game ready to play, ready to prove that they can beat this team. Whereas I don't think this game will mean as much to the Chiefs. So,
All right. So who does everyone have as their matchup monster then?
I have Derrick Henry.
same.
Like if he blows up, it's game over. Like if he's running through him, like prime Derrick Henry stiff arming people on his way to the end zone. I just don't see it working out for the Chiefs. Like, yeah, they could have their pass game all day long, but if Derrick Henry's wearing down their defense, by the end of the game, it'll be over.
For sure. I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach on it, just because Tyler, Matt, I completely agree. Derrick Henry is the guy on the Ravens side. Just to kind of put it into the perspective as far as an X factor who could play well for the Chiefs in this situation, I would very much like to see, and in sort of, I guess you could say, manifesting a prediction out there, that we're going to see some interesting productivity from Xavier Worthy in this game as a rookie, coming out here, getting the opportunity to show off his speed. Think that he could be kind of one of those little unknown variables that might be a little more unfamiliar to the Ravens defense. You know, they know that Rashee Rice is a good target for Patrick Mahomes, and obviously the big one is Travis Kelce there. But Xavier, you know, he's the little there's a little less film, you could almost say, that they have on him, and so maybe the Chiefs might try and exploit that.
McKay, I gotta agree with you. I thought you were gonna pick a Ravens player, and I was gonna say it's Xavier Worthy, but I'm spot on there with you. Is that lack of film on the rookies right now is going to be a weapon. Now, the issue I see with Xavier Worthy is that I've seen he's had a lot of issue with press coverage where he's easily tossed aside. So if he's able to use his speed effectively and get behind his defender, I think he's going to be the big X factor for the Chiefs if they want to win this game. Unfortunately, I think season debut, first time as a rookie, I think he may struggle a little bit, but he should get better as the season progresses, and so does his connection with Patrick Mahomes. So I have the Ravens taking it because he is the X factor where if the Chiefs win, it will probably be because of him. If the Chiefs lose, it will also be because of him.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I like that.
I think this defense has played Tyreek Hill enough to know, hey, a quick little wide receiver. Yeah, we know what to do here.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that.
We know how to handle that. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Friday Night Football in Brazil, which is already starting to sound like a little bit of a nightmare, at least for the teams, because they're being told not to go anywhere due to crime and all sorts of other stuff. They're basically told to stay in hotels, come for the game, and then leave. We got the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and honestly, I like the Packers. I think Jordan Love was doing good, and I think the Packers were doing good, but I think the Eagles just have better weapons, so I have the Eagles winning.
Yeah. Tyler, why don't you go ahead, just so we don't have you going last every time. I'll go last on this one. So
You're good, and I don't even know that. Obviously we're all pretty new to this. I don't think we all need to talk every time. I wasn't gonna say anything until I just had that thought at the end, but I agree. I think the Packers are going to be fun to watch this year. And honestly, I see this as one of the closer games to happen. I just think that the Eagles kind of have a chip on their shoulder. I think the Eagles fan base is going to be, I think a lot's going to ride on this game for them. And so I think maybe this is wishful thinking. I don't know if it's wishful. I don't know that I'm per se an Eagles fan. As a matter of fact, I know I'm not. But I think they need to win this game for their season.
A little bit of redemption after the downhill thing that they did last year. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I got had these two matchups. It was tough. I think the Packers may have the slight edge over the Eagles, just because Eagles have, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Still trying to decide, what he's doing. So I feel like when you have that, I feel like that kind of kills the team a little bit, especially with someone in that position. So I think the Green Bay Packers is my pick. And then, we'll see if anyone gets stabbed during the game or on the way there. Because I don't know if you guys know about, that particular stadium and the two rivals. Green is a bad color. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I looked
Yep,
into
no, that's
that
a
and I
good
was
point.
like, yeah, let's let's not do that, but they went with it anyways, but
Yeah,
yeah, so
that's pretty well. Yeah, just to finish it off here, I'll try and keep this quick because yeah, I think Tyler, you present a good point of wanting to move through this quick. The podcast essentially within the hour threshold, maybe not always needing all of us to talk, but I do have to voice my opinion here. Initially, when I put down my answer, I did have the Eagles, but I had a good conversation today, and I actually think I'm going to switch, and I am going to say that the Packers win this. It's going to be an ugly win. It's probably going to come off from something like a walk-off field goal or something like that. And here's the biggest reason: is not necessarily because the Packers are superior in any way to the Eagles. I honestly think they could be about on par. But here, my biggest concern with this at this point is Jalen Hurts has had a very, very much an easy time running the cadence, the speed, the flow of the game, some of the calls and the coverage that they've seen. He hasn't had to do a lot of that because he's had Jason Kelce doing that for him. And with Kelce now retired, that is a little bit of a concern that comes into my mind is how is he going to adapt to that when he's facing real defenses? And so with that in mind, I believe that that could be a little bit of an edge that the Packers have over the Eagles that could prove fatal for them. I don't think that it's going to be a blowout. Like I said, I think the Packers will barely get away with the win and go home. But with that, yeah, I'm going to say the Green Bay Packers win this game.
Alrighty. So let's move on then to Sunday morning. We got the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints, our first divisional matchup of this rundown. The Panthers, I think, are still reeling from being bad, and I think the Saints are going to win it. I'm just going to leave it short and simple for everyone else to talk.
I'll let go with that. I don't think there's anything I need to say more than that. I got the Saints on this one.
Oh,
As-
backtrack real quick. We skipped the matchup monster for Eagles and Packers.
Noticed that, actually. I wasn't sure if we wanted to keep on it, but...
New baby still getting little sleep. Anyways, matchup monster for Eagles and Packers, very, 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 very quick. I'm going to say Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
mine's simple. It's the offensive line for the Eagles. What are they gonna do without Kelce? If they dominate, they'll win. If they don't, they'll fall apart.
I'd like to see Saquon Barkley do really well. Let me throw him in there. If he does well, great. If not, we could have trouble.
I would like him to do well because he's in a lot of my fantasy teams.
I think Matt's reading my mind because I'm going exact opposite of him. I'm going the Packers defensive line. I think, and I feel like I've said this a lot, so I apologize making this too much longer. But I feel like the feeling behind games means a lot to these NFL players. And I feel like with Jason Kelce out of there, I don't know if there was ever a game for a defensive line to be like, yeah, we got this. It's probably this one. First game of the season without Jason Kelce. I think you got to have something to prove.
Yep.
All right. So let's continue back on to our Panthers versus Saints then. So I'm saying Saints. McKay, you said Saints. Matt, Tyler, anything you want to add or
Who knows?
make your picks?
Honestly, like with this one, who knows?
The divisional matchup makes sense.
Yeah, it's whoever comes to play, but
This is probably the NFC South game I care the least about.
yep.
Dang.
No offense to anyone that's a fan.
All right, so who is everyone's matchup monster then?
I had Kamara. I think he's had such a slow year last year. I think he's going to come in ready to fight, ready to show he can still do it. I think he's had a lot of people look at him and say, "No, you can't do this," and he's going to say, "Yeah, I still got plenty of steam in me." And I think he showed that in the couple of games he played last year. He had great numbers for the limited play he had.
Oh, Tyler, you're giving me PTSD from that one time that you and I played each other in fantasy and you won with Kamara when we were in Park
I
City.
know.
Oh, flashback
I've got
coming in right now.
It wasn't the Christmas Day game, was it?
No, this was last year,
Oh, I
but
was gonna
still.
say that Christmas Day game. Oh, that
That
was
was
me.
something. Yeah, that one was rough. Hey, I'm going to throw one in here too. I don't believe there's been a lot of turnover for the Saints defense in general, not only just the line, but also the secondary. And so with that, I still think they can be pretty formidable, and I think they could really give Bryce Young fits. I'm going to go with just the defense for the Saints in general.
No comment over here.
Go ahead.
I'm just all about Kamara.
Okay.
See what happens with him.
I have one, and I'm gonna say that X factor is gonna be Bryce Young, because it's like what we talked about before.
Yeah.
Teams will win or lose because of one player. Bryce Young has to step it up, especially in his second year, to prove, hey, I am the guy. You guys got me a couple weapons. I'm getting more comfortable in this team. Let's go out and let's play some ball, and I will get us that win.
Very nice. I like it.
All right. Next up, we got Minnesota Vikings versus New York Giants. I'm going to speed through this, at least for my portion again. I got the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, J.J. McCarthy's injured. Yes, they don't have Kirk Cousins anymore. But they still have one of the absolute best wide receivers in the game. Wow. My brain broke. I was about to say
Justin Jefferson.
I was about to say Jordan Addison. I'm like, Justin Jefferson, not Jordan Addison. Addison's number 2.
Hey, get it.
Yeah.
They got Justin Jefferson, and yeah, I mean, his quarterback situation isn't great right now, but I mean, if that ball comes remotely near him, he is almost always going to get it, especially against a horrible Giants team.
I think people underestimate Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I don't think the quarter. I mean, this is coming just from a Falcons fan. He's no. I'm hoping he's no Kirk Cousins, but I think he's going to do quite well there.
All right.
Yeah. I got the Vikings winning because of that reason. I think Sam Darnold's I think the perfect storm happened for him, where he's in a position he can prove himself again. If it buys him a few more years in the NFL, so be it. But I think he's gonna play well. Plus, the other guy on the other side is Daniel Jones. So, come on.
with no Saquon anymore.
Oh, yeah, they're toast. I think it's the best game for Sam Darnold to really get some good reps in the regular season. So I think it's going to be a huge boost for them.
I'm going to take actually the dissenting opinion here, and believe me when I say this, in no way am I high on the Giants thinking that they're going to be good. In fact, it'd be a miracle if they do manage to win this game, but I am going to take them for a couple different reasons. Matt's absolutely right. Danny Dimes is not Danny Dimes, he's Danny Pennies at this point. And so it's not so much my faith in him, but I did notice today in something that I read that does give me a little bit of hope, but I guess Brian Daboll is full on coming around the horn and saying, no, I am making all the play calling from here. And Daboll did great when he was with the Bills as their offensive play caller. So if he's taking on that role as the head coach, that could be something that I think could benefit the Giants here at the beginning of the season. As far as on the other side with the Vikings, about why I'm at least going to say maybe I'm not taking the Vikings here for this. You mentioned Justin Jefferson. My concern with that is he could probably just be double and triple teamed in every situation because Jordan Addison is suspended for the next 6 games, because TJ Hawkinson is out at least for a little while longer with his injury. It's basically Jefferson is the guy, and you can put all of your focus into that. Now, this will play a little into my matchup monster here. But with this situation, I think this will be an ugly, low-scoring game, and somehow the Giants just get away with it, kind of like when these two teams met each other last time in the playoffs, and the Giants managed to eke a win out over the Vikings.
I think that's fair.
All right.
I'm picking the Vikings, but you're good. You're good. I'm picking the Vikings as my win, but I feel like McKay gives a fair bet to the Giants, better than I had given them.
Right.
They could still go absolutely to it could go to pot, honestly, because the Giants will do what the Giants do. But
all right, we got to speed things up a little bit because we're running low on time. We got a lot of matchups to get through, as always, with Week 1 and with adjusting. So, matchup monster, who's everyone got?
Aaron Jones.
And Sam Darnold.
Aaron Jones, Sam
Darnold. Yep.
Gosh. I'm going to say Justin Jefferson because he's going to have to work overtime for this game.
I like Aaron Jones because I think they'll give the football to him a lot, make him be the workhorse.
Alrighty, let's move on then. McKay, I believe my narration of starting the games is up, and it's time for you.
All right, cool. Moving ahead with the Sunday morning football, we've got the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals here. I'm looking forward to this matchup. It's interesting to see what the Patriots will do here with Brissett starting as QB. Bengals, there's always some questions here with Burrow coming back from his injury. The Bengals have a little bit of a reputation at the start of the season of not playing well, so this could be an interesting game. I kind of feel like this also could be another low-scoring game, but the jury's still out on that. Who we got? Who's taking their pick? Who's giving their pick in first?
No comment.
Matt, I feel like you got to start. What do you mean?
I
No
think you gotta
comment?
lead it
No
off, Matt.
comment.
You gotta lead it. You gotta take the team
comment.
and lead the charge.
I don't think it's going to be pretty. I think the
For
Bengals
you
are
or for
going
everyone?
to really kind of trounce New England. But just because I don't want no curse upon me, I will take New England to lose. No, just kidding.
I cannot begin to state how excited I am to see Matt uncomfortable and how excited I am to watch this game. I think I agree. This will be a trouncing. I hope. And I've been trying to go through the stats and acquaint myself, and holy cow, I don't feel like the Patriots made as many moves off season as they needed to get those numbers up. So I don't see a way for them to come out of this looking good.
Yeah. And and before anyone makes a comment, but like their defense does not have it. I don't think there's enough players there. Plus, they got rid of a couple guys that they should have kept. But
Thank you.
it's gonna be ugly.
Shoot on. Yep.
So
Oh man. Hey, I'll make mine really quick. I'm actually gonna take the Patriots on this one. Just because my concern has to do with the fact that Jamar Chase will not be playing in this game, and that the Bengals are slow to get moving through this. You know, they're always rough at the beginning of the season. You got Joe Burrow coming back from injury back in it. If Joe Burrow plays well, and I guess this covers as my matchup monster here. If Joe Burrow plays well, great, cool, Bengals got it. But I think there might be a little bit of figuring that out again, coming back into shaking off the rust, if you will. So I'm actually going to take the Patriots here, winning this one close.
I agree with a lot of that, McKay. I am gonna pick the Bengals because I think out of all times, because they lost Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase isn't gonna be there. I think Joe Burrow's gonna have to go in and not rely on his usual 1-2 punch of Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase. I think he's gotta rely on the other players around him more, so he may play smarter instead of less hero ball. But I think he's gonna definitely be struggling a little bit, and this is a good game to, as you said before, the Bengals have a lot of rough time getting started. I think this is a very easy game for them to kind of go in and get the feel for things again. And I think that because it's going to be a little bit easier, they do have a slight advantage.
Awesome. Good call.
So
we got matchup monsters. We got Joe Burrow. Is there anyone else that anyone wants to throw in?
I'm going to say T. Higgins.
Yeah, as the new wide receiver one. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Anyone else, gentlemen?
nope.
Okay, cool. Moving on here. Sorry, I got kids moving through here. If you can't tell. Hey, next one: Pittsburgh Steelers versus Atlanta Falcons. I think this would be a good game, kind of seeing these quarterbacks that we've seen in other locations now play against each other in different positions now in different teams. Tyler, you got to kick this one off.
So, I gotta go with my Falcons. I will say though that Falcons have this terrible history, and call it a curse, call it what you will, of losing the winnable games, and so, and maybe that's just my fear as a fan after being scarred very deeply. But I go into this with a hesitant. Yeah, I think this is a winnable game, but especially against who I think should be a very winnable Steelers. I'll take the Falcons.
I'll just echo off of that really quick. I'm in agreement with you. I think, Steelers, Russell Wilson will struggle here. It'll be a tough adjustment. I think the Falcons, with some of their weapons that they have, think it could be good. I'm taking Falcons.
I'm going with Steelers. I think I don't know. I feel like they're gonna be even though Russell Wilson and all that huge mess, I think they'll get it figured out, and I think this would be a good game to test kind of their real capabilities as a team. So Score will probably be 21-3 or something like that. But
Oh, 28-3. Come on.
A touchdown.
they won't
back.
score that many. Come on.
All right, Shane, finish us off here.
All right, I'm going to say the Falcons, but I'm going to say it's going to be close. Both quarterbacks on both teams are coming into new systems, have a lot of expectations. Kirk Cousins coming off of injury, Russell Wilson coming off of just being bad. There's a lot of pressure on both the quarterbacks, so I think it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. And sadly, for the Steelers, I think the Falcons just have better offensive weapons around them with Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, who, with the new offensive coordinator, should hopefully get thrown the ball a little bit more.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers
Not
crossed.
just, drafting a guy in the first round and throwing to him maybe once a game.
Oh, poor Bijan.
Who does that?
All right, so matchup monster, who do you guys got?
I'm going with TJ Watt. I think that if the Steelers are going to have a chance, he's going to have to come in there and kick some butt, and I frankly think he will. I think this is going to be. I think the Falcons are going to want to show off their new toys, their new quarterback, all this offensive weapons, and so I think there's going to be a lot of offensive play, and I think TJ Watt's going to step in and say he can handle it. So.
What Tyler said, no need to say more on my end. I agree.
Yeah, I concur with that.
I'm going to say Kirk Cousins because it's going to depend on how well he comes back from this injury.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm just going to move through these really quickly here just because they aren't necessarily our team, so maybe it just might be just a quick response as far as our picks here. This is going to be a good game, this next one. It is the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts, the divisional matchup. Two young quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson's coming back from injury. C.J. Stroud, Rookie of the Year. But let's just go through this here really quickly before we go into our matchup monster, because I get the feeling we might all be aligned on this. So, Shane, who do you got?
I got the Texans for obvious reasons.
Right.
Same
Good.
here. Same here.
Ouch.
And Matt, who do you got? Sorry, did I hear you
I'm
chime in on that?
100% Colts.
Really?
Ooh.
Let's hear it.
Oh, Richardson's gonna come back with a vengeance.
Okay.
He got
I like it.
overshadowed by Stroud, and I think he's gonna be like, you know what? What's up? And I think it will be a close battle, but I think he'll pull and just kind
You know
of
what?
prove that he can play too.
I like that. I've got the Texans as well, but I could certainly see that happening. Richardson coming back and really playing to show, he's here, he's healthy, that
I
sort of
agree with
situation.
that as well for the main reason of I feel like one of the big things with the Texans is that C.J. Stroud now has too many weapons, and as we saw, Stephon Diggs can be a little bit of a diva at times. He's a great player, but he does get upset when he's not getting the ball enough, and then you got Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Like, they have a loaded offense, but it almost feels like there's too many weapons for them to really excel in certain spots.
And
Sure.
having Diggs there, he's always been a problem with the team like that, where it's a stacked offense and he doesn't get the ball all the time. He causes problems. So
It's true. And we've already started seeing that a little bit in the preseason, him trying to chirp to whoever. I can't remember if it was C.J. Stroud or it was Davis Mills.
Stroud.
But
Yep.
okay, yeah, so there you go. We're already seeing some rumblings of it. Matchup monster here, though. What are we thinking?
I think we got to go CJ Stroud.
Yeah, and Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
yeah, it's the two quarterbacks.
Yep, it's going to
are
be a
the
quarterback
matchup
fight.
monsters. Yeah.
Man, what a cool matchup.
It's
When
going
you
to be
think about it that way.
AFC South is honestly very fun minus the Titans.
Yeah. We'll get to that here in a second. But finishing up for mine, I got Arizona Cardinals versus the Buffalo Bills. Look, I think there's some positives that you can see from the Cardinals as far as how they play. They've got some good weapons. Defense is probably the biggest struggle. The Bills, you have lost a lot of Josh Allen's offensive pieces. So I feel like this could potentially be interesting. But I'll just go ahead and get my pick out of the way here first. I do have the Buffalo Bills winning this game. I think it is something that they will be able to win.
I'm going to go ahead and go with mine because I just saw about this. I'm like, I'm actually going to change it to the Cardinals. I was on the Bills side, but I'm like, the Bills did lose a lot of they lost their number 1 and number 2 wide receiver. They have now Dalton Kincaid, possibly Keon Coleman. Like, the offense is a mess. The defense got a little banged up. And the Cardinals, they got Marvin Harrison Jr., and as long as Kyler Murray is doing okay, I think it should be the Cardinals win.
I gotta take the Bills on this one. I just think I think they've got a little bit of the magic on their side. I just look at them and they played so well last year. I think The fact that they didn't go further is just absolutely crazy. It just shows how good the Chiefs were, or at least how good Mahomes is. But I gotta take the
Chiefs
Bills.
are it's their kryptonite. The
Yep.
Chiefs are the Bills' kryptonite. It's just how it is.
Yep, and I think they're going to come into this year with that same might, even despite the loss of those two wide receivers. I think they're ready to play and ready to redeem.
Cardinals is who I got.
All right. Okay.
Actually, now that I think of the dates and stuff, I think this will be the only game the Cardinals win because Call of Duty comes out. Kyler Murray's going to be all locked in, you know?
Yep. Oh, that's a good one. Matchup monster here. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Trey McBride on the side of the Cardinals. I think he'd be really good.
I think the two matchup monsters for me is Harrison Jr. or Kincaid. Gotta throw my
Kincaid.
guy out. I think if he has a good game and he's going, Bills will run away with it. But on the reverse side, if Harrison Jr. just comes out and plays his brains out, then, you know. So I think those two will be the big factors.
Yeah, definitely.
I got
Hey,
Marcus
well,
my vote.
the debut. All right. Yeah, Matt's up.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, Matt, go for it. I'm done. All you.
So, first game is the Tennessee Titans and the Bears. So, I think here there's a lot going on. You got the new head coach that's coming in, so everyone's wondering what he's going to do with the Titans. So, and then you got the Mayo loving Will Levis. So, who knows there. And then you got the Bears.
The Bears.
They got a lot to prove with Caleb Williams. We'll see what happens there. I think both sides have a lot of good weapons. It's just a matter of kind of who's going to come out of it. I feel like it will be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I think, both quarterbacks have something to prove. They both have weapons now. And I think it's just going to be, won't be a high scoring game, but it will be close.
Yeah, I would agree. Who's your pick then, if that's the case?
Gotta go with the Mayo, man. Will Levis.
Oh, all right.
Gross.
That's gross.
I'll go next. This is one of the few times, and for those who have watched before, I'm not always keen to pick the Bears, but this is one of those games where I am picking the Bears. I think this will be a game that they will win. Might be kind of ugly, but I am going to take them on this one, and then we'll have to see how the Bears go through the rest of the season, of whether they can truly say, hey, we're proving it, we are good now, and it's not all just flash in the pan, hype and smoke.
I also got the Bears because I feel like the Bears, Caleb Williams walked into the perfect scenario to succeed as a rookie quarterback, and the Titans, they lost their best offensive weapon, and I feel like they're going to struggle a little bit at the start, even though they have Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. But DeAndre Hopkins is a little banged up at the moment, and Calvin Ridley, I think, is still shaking off some of the rust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm with you guys. I'm all with the Bears, and I think Caleb Williams is going to be my match monster. I think he's going to show the NFL what he's got.
Matt,
Not a whole lot.
As a Utah fan, where you're going with this? Let's hear it.
As soon as he starts seeing, all those Utah alumni, will give him nightmares, PTSD, and he'll fall apart. You say
Don't worry,
Utah,
I'm sure he'll
he
write
has
on
that
his
connection.
fingers.
That's what they need to do. The fans of Titans just need to go up and just have a bunch of Utah. Just be like, hey, here you go. Throw him off his game. But
there you go.
Yeah, my matchup monster on this one, it's gonna be a little bit weird. Take for what it is, but I think Tony Pollard.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of the Cowboys, if he can produce in the run game and receiving, I think he could be a big help to the team. But it's just we need to see if he can do it with a lesser quality of an offensive.
He was my runner-up.
Yeah.
Give me DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I'm with him signing the biggest contract extension in Bears history, and he did do well last year despite with a different quarterback. I think I'm curious and excited to see what he could do.
Yeah. I also have DJ Moore.
All right.
enough. All right, moving on to the next one, yeah?
Yep.
Another interesting matchup here. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins. Here, I think it follows the narrative that they have two quarterbacks that need to prove themselves. You know, Tua, can he continuously be consistent, and will he get injured or not? And then, you got Trevor Lawrence on the other side. It's like, yes, he is good, but can he stay healthy? So I think this will be a good showing to see if either offensive line can keep them safe. Because I think both of those guys are the key factor for these teams for the rest of the season. And we saw that last season. They just fall apart if they don't got their guy there. But I think I'm going to give it to the Dolphins. I think they're going to continue the momentum they had last year. And I think, especially with how Tyreek Hill's been talking, I feel like they're just going to run them over. So I think Miami Dolphins by a lot, at least.
And I think we can probably just move forward. I think we're all on the Dolphins, right, Shane?
Nope.
I think we can just skip this and move forward.
Right? We don't need to talk about that.
I agree.
I'm going to let all the crap talk happen, and I'm just going to sit and wait.
Give me the Fins, man. Let's hear it, Shane. Let's hear what's your dissenting opinion. Why not Miami?
So here's the thing. I think it's going to be a close game because one of the big advantages of the Miami Dolphins is that in their stadium, they have the opposing team sit in the sun. The thing is, the Jaguars are also a Florida team, so they're used to the heat, and they don't really have that, when we're playing, we're staying in the shade the whole time. They play in the sun as well, just as their opponents. So I think it's taking away a lot of the home field advantage the Miami Dolphins have because these two teams are close together. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Tyreek Hill is definitely the biggest problem for the Jaguars, but Trevor Lawrence has a massively upgraded offensive line. He had the second worst offensive line last year. He also had they did like a calculation where it was like quarterbacks adjusted QBR after like drops or something, and he had like the second best passing situation of if his receivers don't drop anything, he was one of the best passers in the league. I think it's going to come down to basically, does Tua stay healthy and Tyreek Hill get open, or does Trevor Lawrence use his upgraded offensive line and his new weapons to his advantage?
He started over the like this whole like argument about it. Just you're using like nature and sun. Matt, Tyler, are we playing checkers here while Shane is playing chess? Like,
I sure think so. I sure think so. If the sun was in the right position, they would have won. But here we are.
If the stars are aligned,
the stars always align.
Wasn't it a full moon that same night too?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm pretty sure I looked at my horoscope and I was I don't know.
You were a dolphin.
I was a dolphin. Yeah.
Let me go get my old voodoo kit out and we kind of happens there.
But I think this is going to be a good, fun, close matchup. And honestly, I think it's going to be one of the better matchups of this week to watch.
Yeah. All the odds and all the, Vegas puts it pretty even. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And so let's just say, I think the Jags defense has got to come out, which is why I'm making them my matchup monster. I think if they don't show up, this is going to be a blowout. This is going to look like the Dolphins Broncos last year. So.
Oh, they will be that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
That's why I'm saying they've got to show up.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to throw one in here. Give me Jalen Waddle. And the reason being is because I know everyone's going to have all the attention on Tyreek Hill, and maybe this is an opportunity where Waddle could actually be a sneaky good option that would make it difficult for the Jags.
Right. That makes sense. I like it. I got Tua as my matchup monster. If he's slinging it to all of his options, hard to stop.
Yeah.
So
good call.
I agree with a lot of these. I mean, I think it's going to be, does Tua go down? Because, as we've seen... no, this isn't like a joking matter. I'm very concerned
it's
he
pretty...
always gets hurt in the first couple of weeks, and I am concerned for him.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Because if Tua goes down, I think that's going to alter Miami's game plan very significantly, and that Jazz upgrade defense might... That defensive line got scary this offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on to the next, yeah?
Yeah, we can probably speed up some of these.
Okay. We could just go, let's just go, who's going to win and matchup monster? So
Yeah, that's probably a good
Denver
call.
Broncos and the Seahawks. Honestly, it's gonna be a good matchup. I'm going with Denver because I'm a huge Bo Nix supporter. Like
Okay.
I am really pissed that the Pats didn't trade down, but whatever, it's fine. So, and then I think Bo Nix will be the matchup monster. I think he's gonna make
Like
a
that.
huge difference to that team.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Except I do have the Seahawks winning. I just think, I think all rookies struggled the first couple of games, but then they start to grow into it very well if they are going to be a good quarterback. So I think Bo Nix is going to have his ups and downs, but I think he'll bounce back, and this is going to be a tougher matchup for him. So I got the Seahawks winning.
The Seahawks too, but for my matchup monster, give me Mike McDonald as head coach. I am curious to see what he's going to do with that defense. Could he potentially turn it into a return of Legion of Boom? I want to see if that will happen.
You want to see old McDonald? You want to see his
And
farm?
his farm.
Right.
Will someone
I'm
mute
taking-
Shane, please? Oh wait, he's that guy.
Yeah, he can unmute himself.
This matchup is near and dear to my family. My wife and her entire side of the family big Broncos, and my brother-in-law big Seahawks man. And so this one's near and dear. And despite the excommunication from my family, I am going with the Seahawks. And
Yeah.
and I think DK Metcalf is gonna have quite the game. I'm excited to see him play.
Oh man, I love DK. That man is big and terrifying.
And can we just say, if you haven't seen his Hulu commercials, I think they're absolutely hilarious. But
Oh, I need to watch those. That sounds good.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Yeah.
Yep.
Last one for me. Got to do it because if my buddy's watching, you get the Raiders against the Chargers.
Oh, well, that hurt.
I will go with the Raiders on this one. And of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of you will agree, the matchup monster is going to be Max Crosby.
That's a good pick.
He's gonna, if he's anything like he did last year, I think they're gonna need him to step up and just limit the possessions for Chargers.
I almost picked Max Crosby too. Oh, we could have been united on something. That would have been
Almost.
so fun. Almost. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers, and I'm taking Khalil Mack. I think he'll be fun to watch.
I'm going to take the Chargers too, but on an opposite end of the defensive side, give me Joey Bosa.
Ooh.
There
Well,
you go.
I guess I'm the outlier then. I'm gonna say the Raiders. I'm saying the
I'm
Raiders
actually
for the
Raiders,
main
too.
reason. I feel like the Chargers' entire offense got gutted, so Justin Herbert isn't going to have a reliable weapon to throw to or even hand the ball off to, and also a new coaching system. So I think there's going to be some growing pains there, whereas Antonio Pierce, I mean, we looked at the Raiders last season. The Raiders were trash. He stepped in, and that team turned around instantly. So I got the Raiders. I think I'm going to stick with the Max Crosby pick. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Okay, Cowboys versus Browns. I'm taking the Cowboys, and I'm taking CeeDee Lamb, especially after this holdout thing with his contract. I think he's going to come in ready to play, and holy cow, can that man play. I think
Ain't he out? Ain't he out this first week?
Yeah.
Wait, did I miss something?
No, I already told all my listeners where I live. I'm not saying that. Come on.
Oh, boy. Now you're going to make me do the research. Ugh.
I'm looking. Now I want to know, because if that's the case, in my fantasy, I gotta make sure I'm playing CD. So that's why I'm asking.
If you have him on your team.
I thought he had. Had he not?
Well, and I'm questioning too because you all said earlier Jamar Chase was out. It says he's still in. So
Lamb is fully healthy and is expected to play in week 1. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, wait.
Oh, that's good to know.
So
Okay.
that's my pick.
I like it.
straight to jail.
Right.
I mean, that was a comment, was straight to jail.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lamb
one
is,
comment too
he's on the
about the
incentive.
Cowboys. I disdain them only because my mom's a fan. for the Cowboys. I
I am
hate
so
them
sorry.
with a passion. Yeah, I'm not associated with her.
Let me just preface this by saying, like, to the listeners here and Shane and Tyler, to you, I have met Matt's mom, and she is a wonderful woman, but she's delusional when it comes to her Cowboys love.
Here's
It's
the
a problem.
I have a lot of family that's from Texas. A lot of them are Cowboys fans. They're very nice people, but they are delusional with their football taste. So I get it. You can be a
But are
very kind, great person and have horrible taste in football. I get it.
Now I did win all the points. I did lower my standards, and I did get her an autographed helmet from Micah Parsons.
Okay,
Wow.
see, I like Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is an
So-
awesome dude.
Yeah, I had to touch the Cowboys helmet, unfortunately, but it's no longer in my house.
You get vaccinated after that?
Yeah, I got tested. I didn't have anything.
I bought my little brother a Patriots jersey, and he's just like you, Matt. He loves the Utes, loves the Patriots, can't stand him. We barely can be in the same room sometimes during football season. When the package arrived, I picked it up with tongs. My wife wrapped it, and when I handed it to him, I handed it to him with gloves. I was not going to touch even the container it was in. So I feel you there.
I am so glad I don't know
Oh,
anyone that's
no.
a Titans fan. Makes me
I
very
think you
happy.
should have touched it because it could probably would have got you better luck for the next.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, really? Yeah, we'll see how the Patriots play this
Get
year.
that
See if they have any
residual
luck to
Tom
rub
Brady
off.
luck, you know.
I mean,
Did
McKay's
the Buccaneers
team
have?
got a new owner recently.
Oh man. Oh, my pick is the Browns.
Second that. I'm just gonna make it quick. That's
Don't
not-
ask
yeah,
me why,
that's fine.
just-
I think we're split 50-50 on Cowboys versus Browns because I am going for the Cowboys.
Browns though, I'm gonna say though this though for matchup monster. I want to see Jerome Ford do well in Nick Chubb's
Yep.
place, so give me his matchup monster.
Yeah, get him his playing time.
See, I'm saying Micah Parsons because that man's a monster on that defense, and I think he'll be able to get to Deshaun Watson and take him down.
All right.
That might not be a good idea.
Yeah. I was gonna say-
Gosh, take it.
Heyo.
All right, let's hurry up
Great.
because we're starting to go overtime now.
Yeah, it's true.
Commanders and Buccaneers. I'm taking Buccaneers,
Bucks.
despite
100%.
the fact I have little love for them.
Bucks for sure.
Buccaneers
Bucks,
as
yeah.
well.
Beautiful. Who are our matchup monsters? Hit me.
Kristen Wirfs.
I
He
do
will
like Tristan
protect Baker
Wirfs.
Mayfield. He will
Do
protect
love
Baker
Wirfs.
Mayfield. Fully worth his contract as the highest paid tackle.
Is he still the highest paid, or is it?
Oh, it's him. It's not Williams. It's or Penei Sewell. It's Wirfs.
I'm on that Baker Mayfield, man. He's gonna get it done again.
I'm
think
gonna
that's
say
it. And-
Jaden Daniels, depending on how the rookie does.
All right.
And
Or
I'm
it's
taking.
how his O line will do.
Oh, shit. Really though, I've got to take Mike Evans though. I think whenever the Buccaneers have a
Yeah.
good game, it's because Mike Evans plays, and so
I hope so. He's on my fantasy team, so
The auto draft
Hey.
fantasy team.
no, that wasn't me. I didn't all draft.
Oh yeah, no, you
the
didn't.
entire
You
time.
didn't. You picked him. Unlike
Yeah,
some
that's-
people.
I did it intentionally.
Unlike some
That's so
people
weird.
here.
who autos?
Twice.
No one ever. Who would ever do that? Anyway, Rams Lions. Let's move on. I obviously Lions here. I mean, come on, Lions are ready to play.
Lions.
Lions
for
are
sure.
coming for a Super Bowl.
Yep.
They're gonna spoil Stafford's next trip to Detroit here, and yeah, Lions for
Yeah.
sure.
And I love Goff. Maybe a little too fanboyish. Maybe a little man crushish. I don't know, but
Hey, he's
There you go.
football's Ryan Gosling. I get it.
Yep. I'm going with Amon Ra for the matchup monster.
I'm going with Amon Ra as well.
I think
I'm
he's
going
gonna
with Jameer
produce.
Gibbs.
Isn't Jameer Gibbs is
Uh,
questionable though?
Yeah,
I think
he
he
might
still
not
will play though.
I think
It
he will
sounds-
as well, but he may be a little banged up.
I think he's going to play. Everything I hear says he's playing, so I'm leaving him on my roster.
I'm leaving him on
Yep.
my roster as well, but I'm hoping they rely a little bit more on the passing game. And just get him the ball at like the 2-yard line to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that too, as long as he's racking up the points. Poor guy.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, baby.
Woo.
Big
Okay,
first one.
49ers and
Got that in the
Jets.
mic.
Uh,
Snuck up on me, man. Woo.
okay, who we got for 49ers and Jets? I'm
49ers,
taking the
100%.
Niners.
Niners.
I was
I
gonna
think
say.
I think Aaron Rodgers will last a full minute this time.
No, he'll like I think he'll be in the first quarter and he'll be gone.
Yep.
So
I just love how everyone is mentioning that Leonard Floyd, when he was with the Bills, was the guy who took Rodgers down when he busted his Achilles, and now Leonard Floyd plays for the 49ers. And it's
Yep.
again on Monday Night Football.
And I almost picked him for my matchup monster, but I ended up going with Bosa because I think Bosa wants a taste.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Aaron, you bet. Oh, man. Yeah.
I my matchup monster is Brock Purdy, and only because I think with all the crap in the offseason with Ayuk and all that drama, I think they're gonna come out and they're just gonna
What do we?
so
Okay. Any other matchup monsters?
Yeah, give me Debo, actually. I think there's been so much attention and focus on Brandon Ayuk that it's been taken away from Debo Samuel, and I think he's ready to just show what he can do.
Have we said CMC yet?
Nope.
no.
You always got to put CMC there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're probably right.
that's true.
I would say the biggest matchup monster, depending on if they win or not, is going to be Aaron Rodgers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as will he stay healthy? Will it work? Is he
Will
going to
he
come back?
last more than 2 plays?
Well, I can't agree with that because I think I don't think he's gonna come out slinging because he knows if he does, like he's gonna get broken. So I think this will be like a tune-up game for him. Like he's gonna do decent. He's gonna have an okay QBR, but I just think they're gonna get just ran over.
Yeah.
All right, let's speed through our next
Well,
section then.
Shane, I'm gonna probably pause you there. I think we're kind of getting to the point now where we'll probably wrap it up here for this one, and
Perfect.
then here's why I say this, and this is just full disclosure, I guess, for the people who are still listening at this point. Probably what we'll do here is obviously we went through this very quick here with some parts quicker than others. We wish that we could have more time to go through it, but we also want to make sure it's concise. We'll probably be discussing how to just make it a bit more concise here in the future with 4 of us all talking. So that's you got to bear with us here. It's the first time doing it with 4 guys, and we're making adjustments here.
And
But we
also,
do
2
have
of
some
them
other
are
stuff.
very, very new and still learning kind of
Sure.
everything and learning our system at least. So integrating new people into a current system is always there's some growing pains, but we're doing great, guys. Everyone's doing great.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
going well.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean, we do have some other stuff like preseason awards, predictions, and our usual for the fun. Which I think at this point, I'd say we will probably push that to our episode next week, with a little more focus as far as how we're going to cover the matchups here. We won't have to do introductions again next week. But with that being said, this kind of does move us here towards the very end of our episode for this week. There's a lot of really, really good matchups that kick us off here. I think the NFL script writers did a good job here
Heck
at the
yeah.
very beginning, just
For
putting
sure.
some of these matchups together. And I'm really looking forward to see how this all plays out. Anyone want to add anything to that?
I actually get to watch the Jaguars football this Sunday for once because I rarely get to see their matchups because they're on the East Coast. I get to watch the Jaguars game with my daughter, so I'm very excited. Her first football game.
Nice.
Aww.
Oh,
Yeah.
You'd be disappointed.
Congrats, Shane.
Proud
Congrats.
moment right
Disappointed.
there. I still need to buy her some
think we're-
Jaguar outfits.
I think we're not. I don't think we caught Matt's comment there. That was golden.
Nope.
We're gonna be
It's
disappointed.
stuck in there. That's what's up. No.
It was great. I caught it. I like.
Or it was
I
ignored.
missed so many things. When it was
Two.
just me and McKay, I missed about half the things they say. It's like, you missed out. I'm like, apparently I did.
It's okay. You'll see it in the playback. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's rewatch.
Oh, good deal.
I will add one thing. I think for obviously the next episode, we're going to be doing the preseason award predictions. If you have them written down, don't change them.
Yeah.
And make the changes if you do after the first week of games. I would kind of be interested to see if anyone swaps or flops at all.
That's a great call. Yeah, we should definitely do that.
So
I'll
mine are
possibly
written
have
down.
two.
yeah, I got mine down, but I want to see if it makes any difference for how the first week goes. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. Tyler, anything you want to add or echo before we wrap it up here tonight?
I'm just happy to be here.
Great.
Look at that. Just the beautiful. Great job, everyone. Great job.
Happy ending there at the
are we
end.
playing golf?
That's my boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, perfect. All right, then if that is the case, everyone, thank you for tuning in for this first episode of this season. All 4 of us joining in now. We're looking forward to it. This has been a lot of fun. This has been I've had a lot of fun on this one. I'm looking forward to see how this season goes. But with that, thank you for tuning in tonight. For those who watch later, thanks for joining us watching on YouTube later, and have a good night.